For over 2,500 years, the world's most sacred and powerful object has been missing. It was a golden chest containing the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments, a pot of manna, and Aaron's staff that had budded. But it was so much more than a container of holy relics. It was the earthly throne of God Himself, the place where His manifest presence, the Shekinah glory, would dwell between the two golden cherubim on its lid. It was the heart of Israel's worship, a source of terrifying power and profound blessing. And then, around the year 587 BC, during the Babylonian invasion of Jerusalem, it vanished from the pages of history. This is the enduring ultimate mystery of the Lost Ark of the Covenant. The stakes of this mystery have captivated explorers, archaeologists, and theologians for centuries. Finding the Ark would be the single greatest archaeological discovery in human history, a tangible link to the time of Moses and a powerful confirmation of the biblical narrative. Where is it today? Is it hidden in a secret chamber deep beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem? Was it spirited away to Ethiopia, where a lineage of priests claims to protect it to this day? Or was it destroyed by the Babylonians, lost forever to the sands of time? We are about to embark on an investigation of the clues, a journey through ancient texts, historical accounts, and modern theories to explore the most credible and fascinating possibilities for the real location of the Lost Ark of the Covenant. Imagine the awesome, terrifying power of this object, an artifact that could strike a man dead for touching it, yet whose presence could bring blessing to a household. The search for this holy grail is the ultimate quest for a physical touchpoint with the divine. Let's begin with what we know for sure. The Ark of the Covenant was built according to a precise pattern given to Moses by God on Mount Sinai. It was made of acacia wood and overlaid with pure gold, inside and out. On top was the mercy seat, a solid gold lid flanked by two golden cherubim facing each other. It was here that God said, "There, above the cover between the two cherubim that are over the Ark of the Covenant law, I will meet with you." The Ark was carried by the Levites using long poles, as it was too holy to be touched. It led the Israelites through the wilderness, parted the Jordan River, and was instrumental in the collapse of the walls of Jericho. For centuries, it was the centerpiece of Israel's worship, eventually finding its permanent home in the Holy of Holies, the innermost chamber of Solomon's magnificent temple in Jerusalem. The last undisputed historical mention of the Ark is in 2 Chronicles 35, during the reign of King Josiah, just a few decades before the Babylonians, under King Nebuchadnezzar, conquered Jerusalem and destroyed the temple. And then, silence. The Ark is conspicuously absent from the detailed list of temple treasures that the Babylonians carried off to Babylon. This silence is the birth of the mystery. It strongly suggests that the Ark was not captured. It must have been hidden. This leads us to the most prominent and widely held theory. The Ark is hidden beneath the Temple Mount. The prophet Jeremiah, who was an eyewitness to the Babylonian invasion, is central to this theory. The non-canonical book of 2 Maccabees records a tradition that Jeremiah, being warned by God of the coming invasion, took the Ark, the tent of meeting, and the altar of incense, and hid them in a cave on Mount Nebo, the mountain from which Moses viewed the Promised Land. He is said to have sealed the entrance and declared that the place would remain unknown, until God gathers His people together again and shows His mercy. A similar tradition holds that the priests of Solomon's temple, aware of the impending doom, hid the Ark in a secret chamber, a labyrinth of tunnels that exist to this day deep beneath the Temple Mount. For centuries, Jewish rabbinic tradition has maintained that the Ark is resting in a chamber directly beneath the place where the Holy of Holies once stood. The problem? The Temple Mount is one of the most politically and religiously sensitive pieces of real estate on the planet. Any attempt at a major archaeological excavation is currently impossible. The Ark may be tantalizingly close, yet completely inaccessible. The second major theory takes us far south, to the ancient kingdom of Ethiopia. This tradition, which is the national epic of Ethiopia, is recorded in a medieval text called the Kebra Nagast, the Glory of Kings. According to this account, the Queen of Sheba, during her famous visit to King Solomon, had a son with him named Menelik. Years later, when Menelik was a young man, he traveled to Jerusalem to meet his father. When he returned to Ethiopia, he was accompanied by a group of Israelite noblemen who, without his knowledge, stole the ark from the temple and replaced it with a forgery. They brought the real ark to Ethiopia, where, according to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, it remains to this day. They claim it is kept in the chapel of the tablet at the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in the city of Axum. It is guarded by a single virgin monk who is the only person allowed to see it. He is confined to the chapel for life and names his successor on his deathbed. While this story sounds fantastical to Western ears, the Ethiopian claim is taken with the utmost seriousness in their country. The historical links between ancient Israel and Ethiopia are well documented, and the form of Judaism once practiced there was ancient and authentic. Is it possible? Without independent verification, it remains a matter of faith. A third, less romantic theory is that the ark was simply destroyed. While it is not on the list of looted items, it's possible that the Babylonians, who were known for melting down the sacred objects of conquered nations, simply broke the ark apart for its gold and discarded the rest. For many, this is an unthinkable end for such a sacred object, but it remains a historical possibility. Others have proposed more fringe theories. One British Israelite tradition claims the ark was brought to the British Isles by the prophet Jeremiah. Another sensational claim was made by the late amateur archaeologist Ron Wyatt, who asserted that he had found the ark in a cave beneath the crucifixion site of Jesus, and that Christ's blood had dripped down through the rock onto the mercy seat. While compelling, these claims lack any verifiable archaeological evidence. So, where does that leave us? The fate of the Ark of the Covenant remains one of the world's greatest unsolved mysteries. But perhaps the answer is not a geographical location, but a theological revelation. The author of the New Testament book of Hebrews argues that the earthly ark was a shadow, a copy of a heavenly reality. The true ark, the true meeting place between God and humanity, is Jesus Christ himself. And the book of Revelation gives us a stunning glimpse into the heavenly temple, where John says, "The ark of his covenant was seen within his temple." It seems the original ark, or its heavenly counterpart, is safe in heaven. The ark vanished from the earth around the same time that the prophet Jeremiah foretold a new covenant, one where the law would be written not on stone tablets, but on human hearts. Perhaps God withdrew the physical symbol of his presence to prepare his people for a new and better reality, where his presence would dwell not in a golden box, but within the heart of every believer through the Holy Spirit. The search for the lost ark continues, but for those of faith, the true presence of God has already been found. If you are fascinated by the Bible's enduring mysteries, consider following for more deep and investigative journeys into the Scriptures.